So, Donbrothers episode 30. This episode was the big lore drop episode, the big plot reveal episode, with several big gears going into motion that is definitely going to come into place in the next couple of episodes, moving into probably the finale with all these big plot reveals moving forward, because we're getting a couple of them, and we're getting more next week. So, the whole premise of this episode is the sort of freeway struggle between the Juto, the Donbrothers, and the Cerebrans. And not only that, you've also got the Oni, which are like the putties that we've seen throughout this season, and they're involved in this as well. They're sort of like an alien race that, well, not alien race, it's sort of like a race of people that get hunted by the Juto, and the Juto view them as food source. So the whole premise of this episode is Haruka getting kidnapped by the Oni, and they want to use the Donbrothers to sort of take care of the Juto, because the Juto are very dangerous. And we find out that the Juto were created by the Don clan, which is a big reveal that the Don clan created them, which I did not see coming, unless it was mentioned a couple of episodes ago and I missed it. But we also learn about the Juto, or the Bestials, whatever you want to call them, depending on what subgroup you use. We find out that if the Juto is killed, the origami sort of copy, then the human host will die as well. And that's a big bombshell moving forward, because we know that Miho's a Juto, but we also know that Miho is also Natsumi, and in this episode, at the end of the episode, we see that Inuzuka finds out that Natsumi is Miho, and it looks like that Natsumi is Miho, and Miho is with Brother. So Inuzuka got that bombshell dropped on him, but I do wonder how the younger audience catches on to these big reveals as they watch it weekly in Japan. I wonder if their minds are blown, their small little minds are blown from these plot reveals. I do wonder if the younger audience is catching on to the whole plot details and stuff like that, or are they just surprised as some of us who don't catch on to things? I don't know. Food for thought. But this episode also had the reveal that Murasame is the sword, which we knew that Murasame was the sword, but Murasame is a weapon that can defeat the Juto. So the Juto kind of want to use Murasame as a bargaining chip, so that way they can't get destroyed. So, jumping back between this episode, we had Haruka's auntie getting kidnapped, and she's just as crazy as Haruka when she got kidnapped, like 25 episodes or so ago, where she's like, oh wow, this is like the best kidnapping ever because all the kidnappers are super hot. So she's just as deranged and psychotic as her niece, which got a laugh out of me, and right now I've got a tweet that's sort of blowing up from me saying that, so check me out on Twitter. But yeah, this episode was the big plot reveal heavy episode, and there's sort of going to be this freeway struggle between the Noitoi, the Juto, and the Donbrothers, because Natsumi/Miho tells Momotaro with that twist saying, hey, if the Juto die, then the human hosts die. And when the Donbrothers and the Brain People were going to team up and storm the mansion that the Juto were in, Momotaro came in and was like, hey, the deal's off, we're not going to do this anymore. And the Brain People quickly call him a traitor. And so now we've got this freeway struggle between all these different factions, or four-way struggle if you count the Oni, because the Oni are kind of like the victims in this from the Juto, because they're people that can't really fight back compared to the Brain People and the Donbrothers and the Juto in this situation. So we've sort of got this freeway struggle to destroy the Juto and find a way to deal with them, because you know that Momotaro is going to try and find a way to save these people to make sure that they don't get killed. But I also do wonder if he also caught on that Natsumi is Miho, or he knows that if Miho dies, then Brother is going to be really sad and stuff like that. I don't know if he's doing that to look out for everyone's best intentions, but with Momotaro learning that plot twist that the original host will die, he's definitely got that in mind, and he's probably going to be having plans around that. Now, this episode also did have a Monster of the Week. I believe it was based on Flashman. Not much to say about it. A big fat dude that didn't really add much to the plot. He was kind of like in there for a couple of seconds. Big fat dude that likes spicy food. And because the food wasn't spicy enough, he started eating. I don't know if it's a reference to Flashman. I haven't seen Flashman before. And the suit design of the Monster of the Week was pretty cool, but we didn't see much of it because Jiro took part in that fight, and Jiro was the one to take care of the Monster of the Week along with the others, so yeah, not much to say in that department. But bringing it back to the plot twist at the end of the episode where Inuzuka learns about Natsumi being with Brother, that is going to play effect into next week's episode, where in the preview, spoilers if you don't like me talking about the preview, there was that one guy that didn't. I'm just going to point that out there. But next week it's going to lead into the others finding out that Inuzuka is Brother. So hopefully, finally he's going to join the team and become part of the gang. But he's also going to fight Brother too, so that would be really cool. But anyway guys, what did you think of Donbrothers episode 30? Love it, hate it. If I missed anything important, please tell me in the comment section down below. There's usually a couple of people that do it, and I'm much appreciated for it because I usually get back to them in the comment section because they point out stuff that I missed and I reply to them in the comments. But if I missed anything important, feel free to tell me down below. That'd be much appreciated. So, with that said, I think I'm going to bring this review to a close. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you guys later. Peace out, take care, bye. Thank you.